Now we're coming into Buchanan, Georgia, and I thought I'd show you some of the ways you can prospect out here without spending a lot of money, buying a dredge and that sort of thing. Just things you could do with hand tools to get gold. Now all I'm doing with this metal detector is I'm looking at the ground type, mineral type that I'm in. 70 and above, it gets very heavily mineralized, and that's what I want. And I can actually track in a percentage the black sand as I'm going along, and all I'm doing is I'm hunting for the higher percentages of iron ore or black sand as I'm going along, scooting along. I'm using a very small coil on the end, so it's extremely sensitive. Well, now here's the setup. I've set up a sluice box here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a metal detector, and our gold vein's going right down this little bar here, and I'm going to mark that with stakes. I'm going to give you a yogiism. You can't find anything unless you know it's there already, so how's that? And what you really want to get good with is a metal detector, so you can zero in on where the gold is running, and then you just take it out with a shovel and bucket, or individual nuggets if you're in that size of gold, and your gems will also be running very close to that line as well. Now, as you can see, what we've actually done is marked a line, and just to the, that's the black sand line. Now, just to the inside of that is going to be our gold, lead, the heavier materials. So I'm going to go inside of that line with a shovel, and we'll go ahead and grizzly a lot of that off. I'll show you how to do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and use these screens to screen off our material, also called grizzly it off, and they all fit in a bucket. Next one's that size, that size. Finally, our largest. Garnets up here, and there have been at least 2 diamonds found here that I do know of. We can take that and take a look at it later. Okay, and what we finally end up with in the bucket, we just put through our sluice. And what we've got, most of our gold will stop right on that black mat. And as you can see, I've found a brass fishing lure, and it stopped right there on the black mat. And your gemstones and heavier pieces of gold, they'll certainly stop in behind these riffles. See how the sand is holding behind those, and that's how that works. And for minimal expense, we can take out this whole bar here with nothing more than a shovel, our metal detector, and a sluice box. My prospecting partner for the day, that's Benson Hartle, and he's got a sucker tube gun, and I'm going to show you how I found the very first nugget I ever found out here, and it came from right here. There's a gold belt going right across here, and what we have is bedrock intersecting the stream. In fact, I've pulled a number of nuggets out of here, but this is the first one that I ever found right here. Don't know if you can see that. And what I do now is I keep that in a bottle, and I use that to calibrate my metal detector with. Now what we're going to do is take our metal detector on the bank there, go along here, find the hits, and then we're going to suck them out with that that little mini dredge or hand dredge, whatever you want to call it. And you can build those or buy those. It's a very efficient way, low-cost way to find gold nuggets in a stream. What I'm using today is a White's GMT metal detector. Now, if you use a metal detector for gold, you want to use one that is above 14 kilohertz in frequency in a VLF type of detector. This one is 60, and it'll pick up extremely small pieces of gold, and that's what you're after. You want to know where it is, even the small pieces, not just the big ones. Hear it? Look. Does it every time we go over it. Right there. Alright, so we're going to mark that. Now what we've got in the hand dredge, just a tube that comes up, and as we suck up with this plunger here, our material, it'll come out of the tube, fall in the cup. That's all it is. Let's see what we found. We keep the tube at an angle. Now I'll show you what we've done here. See, the area is completely clean. So whatever was in there is now in this tube. And I'm going to take the tube apart over the bucket. And now whatever was in the tube is in the bucket. And I'm going to take that home, run it over the sluice or through a gold wheel, or simply pan it out and see what we've got. Okay, this property has been mined now for over 140 years. Gold's been coming out of here, and people wonder, how does that happen? Well, each flood that comes along, the gold veins that are in the property are exposed, and the old ancient creek that flowed from here on down to Carrollton, this was just a tremendous river flood system at one time. It eats into that old bank and releases the gold that it was moving at the time. Now, here's what we have up here. This is hard packed. This is ancient river gravel. See, it's round, and it's in here with no real rhyme or reason to it. It's literally been pounded into this bank. And what you have down here, these are the quartz veins going up here, which you have quartz, gold, iron, typically. Here's a little spot iron on this quartz. And this is where it's releasing into the stream. So every flood we have in, a little more gets released. And so people are continually mining this stream now for at least 140 years that I know of. But, this is it. We're standing on the bedrock. This is the bedrock right here, and it's rotting away. And as it rots away, we have these quartz stringers, which are exposed, and where they mate, that's usually where your gold is coming from, where the vein is. It just releases right in the stream with every flow. Now, my mining partner here, Benson, was asking about the quartz and how that worked. Well, as you see, we've got a perfect stringer of quartz going right up through here. And we could actually, if it had a gold vein in it, how I would know that, I'd take that metal detector and I'd just follow it. And you'd break off a piece here. And you see there that rusty material, so it's got iron on one side of it. And if we actually found gold on into the dry area, we could follow that vein up and eventually take a vacuum cleaner, nothing more than a vacuum cleaner on a generator, and suck the gold out with that. Well, now it's nighttime. We're going to go out looking for diamonds and rubies with a fluorescent light. A ruby under ultraviolet light. Emerald. There's a diamond at the top of this star. It will glow blue under ultraviolet light. There's a red ruby to your left, and it'll glow a brilliant red.